From d.a.Levy's Suburban Monastery Death Poem. Part 0, Celebration with Rada Drums. Only 10 blocks away, buildings burned, perhaps burning now. The August night broken by sniper fire. Policemen bleeding in the streets. A sniper surrenders, perhaps out of ammunition. Gun jam. Someone said he was framed in a doorway, like a picture. His hands in the air when they shot him. Only 10 blocks away from my quiet apartment, with its green ceramic Buddhas and science fiction books, unread skin magazines to be cut up for collage. Only 10 blocks away from my total helplessness, from my boredom enforced by the state, they are looting stores, trying to get television so they can watch the riots on the 11 p.m. news. The National Guard, Jeeps patrol the streets again. The army green trucks with a giant white star on the side, moving in the summer lightning. I could tell you partly why it happened, but you wouldn't believe me. Like in Milwaukee, during a reading just after I said, "This is a paranoid poem," written when I was experimenting with paranoid states of consciousness. But I'm not there anymore. And a young girl sat writing, shows paranoid symptoms. Probably for her psychology class, not hearing me at all. I could try to tell you about the hopeless despair ingrained in ghetto walls and police brutality or police stupidity or police reality is more than just words to define situations by students looking for a cause. The situations exist and continue quietly in the dark while the protest goes on in daylight, both unheard. Really, the police try to protect the banks, and everything else is secondary. During the riots, I watched the news and didn't pick sides for a change. I just sat wondering about all the living room revolutionaries safe in the suburbs who cheered every time someone was shot or a building went up in smoke. 10 blocks away, it was real. Thousands of tourists arrived. Part 1, the history. If they ever organize the Fine Arts Council, even the poets will be kept in line, like they are in Cleveland. It's so easy to convince poets what poetry is and what it isn't. And everyone knows sleeping with the muse is only for young poets after you've been kept impotent by style and form in words like art. After being published by the right publishers and having all the right answers, after you've earned the right to call yourself a poet, you're dead. I don't want to end up like Kenneth Patchen, hiding in California, an exile, Pound and Artaud, locked up. In the past, Poe, a paranoid lush. Part 2, the well. I'm sitting in the shadows of the well, old memories left in my head from the days when it was born and I took the rapid from West 25th and Lorraine to Superior Windmere and walked in the slush of late autumn to wait in the coffee house shadows, watching it grow, inhale and exhale, listening to Miles Davis music inside my head. Now I sit at home and fly with the Jefferson airplanes, earphones taped to my head, listening to Judy Collins, Country Joe and the Fish, Buddhist chants, Pink Floyd, Richard Farina's Ghost, classical Spanish music, my skull cracking wide open, and the last of my brains and collected words floating up to the ceiling. It was much simpler when I walked in the summer to the North Branch Library and couldn't find books on Tantricism, Dadaism, Buddhism, Egypt, contemporary poetry. There was a lot of American propaganda, and I was very disappointed. I really wanted to study. Instead, I sat away the summers, trying to become as soft as the trees, trying to understand where they got their faith in life, growing patiently, leaping toward the sun. Part 3. I guess it was her sister. Dream 2. A thought is matter. What form of energy is used to create a thought? Thinking is the organizing of thoughts or thought patterns. Thing in, not energy. Thinking uses a form of energy. What form of energy is used to create the original thoughts? Try to become that. I just write these prose, poems, and tell myself, like I told her when I was in Milwaukee and our minds touched again, no space, no distance. Maybe it will be better for the next generation, lady. Your son can read the poems and find out how we were murdered for 5,000 years. Let him know there was no place for us except moving or becoming invisible. You can watch the ones who didn't move fast enough. They are dying, and they are called poets. People used to be afraid of poets. Now they don't listen anymore. So everything is all right? Lady, you were beautiful the night you sat in the theater, very tired and disappeared when I wanted you so badly and didn't know why. Everyone says, write a poem about East Cleveland. East Cleveland, I want to leave you. 4.5 interest. Cleveland Trust with its unseen altar of skulls. You people who laughed watching us die and pretending it was because we were young. East Cleveland, expand your internal environment. Let in the sun. I am too young to commit suicide for your amusement. Part 4. Forest Hills Park. The mailman tells me he was a writer, but he decided he liked to eat. So much for how America keeps her writers in line. If I have any courage, next week I'll kill myself. Every week I tell myself that, and find something new to write about, or find a new way to say what I said before. Last week, the last medieval frontier, Gothic Ohio, a Catholic whorehouse, Guardians of the Light, bullshit, Nicene copyright, bullshit, secret Uspenskian groups hidden in the suburbs, Scientology level 9, Casey Atlanteans, bullshit, everyone using the groups to escape their responsibility. For reality now, poetry, the last round with mental dysentery before confronting the reality of oneself in relation to the reality of the universe. Poetry, the greatest bullshit of all. Reality is Mr. Donut, Luxembourg Motel, Two Jack's Bar, Scott's Hardware, Glass and Mirror Co., my friend still in jail. I don't know how to get him out. That's called poet's power. That's how America keeps her poets in line. It's all been done before. Today, being stoned is a way of life as crippling as television and Christianity or newspaper worship. And the 9 to 5 assembly line, it's 1968, and the assembly line pot smokers are here. I'm afraid of the beautiful people. They're crazy with their long hair. They are crazy and they are irresponsible assholes just like their parents. They don't want to make guns. They don't want to kill. Woe to the American economy. I am now a full-fledged initiate to the secret cult of the suburban society of death. Human sacrifices before the altars of the tube. I'm still hungry. There's nothing to do except change the kitty litter, empty the garbage. It isn't safe to think in this country. Just write poems, read books, no place to grow, just sit back, drink coffee, damage chromosomes, watch this old world die, and wonder what tomorrow will be like, already knowing I'll be an outlaw there too. They are waiting for me in the future, but then I'll be someone else. Screaming in the darkness, sitting, staring through the paintings on the walls, lost in the maze of mirror reflections, not certain where I am or who I am, I quietly ask myself who I am, and the voice in my head reminds me, one of the sons of light reborn. Fuck that shit. I mean, what does that mean, dreaming of past lives? The great teacher murdered for teaching about the sun, just like Reverend King murdered. The Kennedys murdered. Symbols of the light turned off. And the telepath who rested in my head once and disappeared. Vajra Yogini, help! Papa Legba, open the gates. I don't want to die in Ohio anymore. I am tired of watching my brothers waste their lives fighting the draft, to die in illegal wars. I am tired of being torn up inside each time I see one of my brothers replaced by a gold star in a window. I don't understand theoretical economics. My world is full of people and spirits. I want to go where there are still some flashes of light. My world is full of imaginary women with neon, electric flowers of love. I want to go where I don't have to pretend I am not alone. Part 5. Talking to the wind. Someone said I should write something constructive about East Cleveland. Get me a passport. That's constructive. Send me to a free country. Deport me to Milwaukee. Send me to the city of light. Or tell me how to get there. And then, let's go. I'm afraid to go alone. I don't see any other way. The city within me can survive. And I am already too old for your future. And I am already too old to be your future. You are always too safe. You are always too late. Everyone wants to be Jesus. Everyone wants to be martyred. Everyone wants to be a bodhisattva without getting their hands dirty. Like unarmed confrontation. I want to see the day when the city confronts me openly or sincerely for something other than information. I can open the doors for you, the voice says, and forgets to tell you the magic words, the words of power that stop you from having the door slam you in the face. I can open my own doors and get them slammed in my face. Who needs help? Part 6, a small funeral. The only difference between matadors and poets is that one flirts with death and the other with insanity, says Rick Davis. They've almost all lied to you, including me, I suppose. The poet gambles with insanity? That's ridiculous. We are all insane. It is up to you to wake up the poets. Lost in their eerie pasts, the poet just eats and sleeps and pisses and farts and shits and writes poems. Is that insanity? That's the Zen master on phenobarbital. It's the businessman, the salesman, who gambles with insanity. The doctor playing medicine, the printer, the bomb maker, the man who makes donuts and bagels from 9 to 5, awake at 6 a.m. driving a truck across the city to put in day after day in the same meaningless dance routine. Without even time to ask why, poets lost in the luxury of being able to question, being able to beat their head against the wall and say, well, it's my job. And they already know. They don't want the answers. But that rapid transit matador being gorged each day with invisible horns internally, and business transactions that didn't come, and the CTS cowboy sitting silently, trying to get a job, any job, knowing he'll die of TB at age 65 or cancer and unable to find a shred of meaning in the whole game. The sweet insanity of being able to put away each hopelessly identical day, while the matador gets a rose from a fat little greasy teeny bopper in the crowd. He gives her the bull's ears later in bed. And a horny poet with poor vision cleans the picture up for you to help you dream. But now you have television and you dream too much. The garbage man in the morning knows his own reality. Garbage men never get shot during riots. Perhaps they are the real holy men with an aura of protection. Their reality, the shit in your bedroom wastebasket. You have to be a Zen master to be a garbage man. And poets lie when they manage to find some object of beauty in the garbage heap. Garbage is garbage. Poetry is emotional garbage, leftovers. And beautiful things are just dreams. But now you have television to help you dream. The soulless men, bullfighters of insignificant stockrooms, mindless phantoms who never possessed a spirit to gamble with. Men with high school television dreams who cross themselves in rituals of death, who whisper Jesus before dueling with their competitors each day, playing war games, becoming policemen, gambling with insanity. They drive their autos, laugh at hippies, drink on a Friday, go bowling, shit on God each day, and they die and they die and they die alone, wrapped in flags, proud of their insanity. And the academic poets write their cleaned up dreams for you. Pretend it is all beautiful, sitting in a bar, the alcohol confessional. And every day I sit here trying to become one of you after another, trying on those high school dreams for size. It doesn't work. You don't fit me. As a poet, I try to learn how to remain human despite technology. And there is no one to learn from. And I am still too young to be quiet and contemplative. My wife and I take an evening walk around the block. Are we that old? There was something beautiful about her, some dream thing in the cloudless sky. I know my dreams are unreal, but they are my dreams. Sometimes on hot summer nights, we hate each other, and it is beautiful. Note, peace and awareness are like two small birds trying to leave the planet because they are tired of dying. I'm not advocating anything